You're listening to the Boston Greeks podcast with Adi and Foti. They've been bringing Greek culture online since 1998, and now they're bringing you the best Greek guests Boston has to offer. So grab your kafedaki and join us.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for another fantastic episode of the Boston Greeks podcast. I am very, very, very excited today. We have an amazing guest. She is I'd say an old friend. We've known each other for a while.
You have friends?
Yeah, I do have friends. Oh. And, you know, a lot of good times, a lot of memories. And now she's doing something completely amazing, something that just blows my mind. Before I say any more, let me bring on my co-host, Foti Stamos. How are you, Foti?
Good, and yourself, Ari?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited. Tell us about this fantastic guest we have.
Well, you know, we bring a lot of fun, interesting, and creative guests onto our shows. We talk about food, we talk about wine, we talk about business, you name it. But it's time to also start talking about our health and wellness, and what of a better individual and representative to actually discuss and talk to us about health and wellness. We have our special guest that's joining us, Stephania Tsimikas, who's a fitness professional. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait to dive into this interview with you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we are very excited.
Nice to see you guys again.
Yeah, nice to see you. Foti, I'm going to let you start off because there's a lot to cover here. I want to talk about. Let's first start off with just give us a little background, Stephania. Just where you're from, where you grew up, what your Greek family life was like, stuff like that.
Okay, so I was born in Rhode Island, United States, Rhode Island. We lived here with the family for a couple of years. My parents, being first-generation immigrants from Greece, wanted to make sure that we knew the Greek culture as well as they did.
Yeah.
And they were seeing that as we were growing up and being in school with other children, we didn't have that connection to the Greek language, the Greek culture. And like I said, it was very important for us to know that. So they decided to move us back to Greece at a young age when I was about 6 years old.
How was that experience for you to go from here to there?
Yeah, it was tough just because I had my friends here that I had in elementary school. I had my way of life here already at that young age, and just saying, hey, we're moving, we're taking all of our stuff and we're leaving. We're going to Greece, to a country that I've never been and didn't know what to expect. At a young age was hard. You know, my parents were constantly telling me that, hey, there's cousins that you've never met that live in Greece. So there's uncles and aunts and your grandmother that you've never met, your grandfather that you've never met. And I'm like, wow, I actually have family? Like, because we were here just my siblings and myself, which I have another brother and another sister, and we were always just us. So it was like, oh, I have other family that I'm unaware of. So to move back and to meet them all for the first time was, wow, what a experience that was. Hey, this is your grandmother, this is your grandfather, these are your cousins, and you had to create a new bond and a new relationship with all of them. It was very challenging and very happy at the same time at a young age of 6 years old.
Yeah, I think 6 years old is tough to make such a big transition. And how long did you guys end up staying in Greece?
Let's see, up until when I was a freshman in high school. So we lived in
there's
Greece.
Another big transition. That's like when you're really getting into your social circles and stuff, and then you
exactly
again.
So then, you know, like I said, I was 6 years old at the time. So I had to start from the beginning. I had to make new friends, adjust to this new lifestyle. And, you know, after some hard times, we finally were happy with everything. I was happy. I was like, okay, this is going great. I had my friends, I had my circle, I had my daily routines, everything. And that's when in 7th grade, I decided I wanted to join the track team, actually. The track team was something that a friend of mine had brought it up to me and said, hey, I'm joining this track team. Are you interested in joining? And I said, yes, let's do this. And I'm glad I did, because for about 3 years, every day I would wake up and I would exercise every morning with this team that we had. So it was great to be able to do that. But after we've created, like I said, all these friendships, and I had everything that I liked in my life at that point, at that age, again, we had to leave when I was a freshman in high school and come back to the States.
Oh,
and you came back to Providence?
I came back to Providence, Rhode Island. Okay. Correct. So again, we had to start back from the beginning. So there I am again with knowing no one, thrown into high school out of all, the difficult stages in your life, high school. Everybody had their cliques, everybody had their groups, their friends. And there I am as a newbie, myself, my sister, and my brother. So get thrown in these classes. The language barrier also, you have to understand, like you have to learn that and be able to communicate in that, and creating new friends. So everything for me was new again.
Wow. So. That's as an adult, when you look back, you could say, wow, that's so cool that I moved to Greece. I lived in Greece for a little while, come back. But I try to put myself in the 6-year-old mind of leaving, and then in a freshman mind and changing again. Yeah. Like I'm telling you right now that would have been extremely difficult for me. And that's pretty impressive that you could get through it. And I mean, so you were in the track team in Greece, and then when you got here, and I think in the States, I'm assuming that it's a good way to kind of get into a social circle, kind of get into like whatever kind of, friends situation by meeting people on your team. Did you do that when you came here?
Correct. I joined the swim team when I came here immediately. So I joined the swim team, and that helped, like you said, making new friends and, just having the same interests and being able to bond in that aspect. So that helped me a lot. And then I did some some gymnastics outside of school. So that helped, yes. And then I had tried out for the volleyball team. So I made some friends while doing that. I said, yeah, sports helped me out tremendously in the big adjustments that I had in my life, for sure.
And has that always been part of your life, or was there a time? So we'll fast forward a little bit. Okay, you graduate high school. You're doing whatever you're doing. You're kind of growing up. Have you always been into fitness, or has it been like kind of like just a side hobby, or has it been like a main point? I know that now, more recently, it is a main point. So what happened between like high school and getting to this point? Was exercise and fitness a big part of your life, or was it something that you woke up one day and you're like, hey, I'm now a mom and I want to get back into shape, or how exactly did it come about for you?
Well, in high school, it was a big part of my life. In college, it was, but not as much. I was more focused on my studies at the time. My parents were very, very big on going to college and getting great grades, working hard and getting good grades. That's what they wanted from my children.
They sound Greek to me.
Oh, yes. They're very Greek. Exercise was not important. It's not important. You need to get A's and be a hard worker in life. That's what was important for them. So having that, as well, is like, okay, I need to, settle down and like focus on my studies in college. So that's what I did. So, yes, did I run here and there? Did I do my running in the mornings? Yes, but it wasn't a big part of my life at that moment. I wanted to study physical education. I remember that clearly. And my parents were like, no, elementary teacher is a better choice. So, so to please them, I did that, which again I love teaching young kids. And that's what I wanted to do in physical education, is teach young kids as well, teach them the importance of, exercising, being active, what you're eating, all that. Yeah. But it was in a different way. It was through teaching math and language arts and science and all that.
I mean, that's a very important thing, especially in America, especially nowadays with, the internet and video games and all this stuff. And kids, I feel, aren't as active as we used to be. Yes. We used to leave the house and we'd come back when it got dark and we'd be all scraped up and had the best time ever. And I feel like sometimes it's tougher for kids now, because I don't think kids also have like as much freedoms as we once did. I don't know if that's just my perspective, if you
I
guys agree or not. But I remember leaving the house and coming back like hours later. Now, if my son left the house, I'd be like, where is he? Let's find him. What is he doing? Yeah. So
you have to track him. We have to track them, right? We have to be like, are they okay? Like, where are they right now? Let's
exactly
track them, see where they are. Well, times have changed, because of society and everything. So.
All right. So you had an element obviously in your life of fitness. So when did it start to really become something more than just like I want to feel good, I want to be healthy, and I'm exercising? When did it become something more than that?
So once I graduated college and then I started working, then I met my husband and then we had children. So that again took a lot of time away from me. Mm-hmm. That's when I focused on my family, being a good Greek mother and wife, taking care of everybody. So my focus was my kids mostly and taking care of them. So, being a mother and waking up so many times at night and taking care of the kids and feeding them, that's exhausting on its own. So I tried to squeeze in as much as workouts as I could then too. But honestly, I was just very, you get very tired. Mm-hmm. So I did try to work out, run again and do as much as I could. But that wasn't my priority at the time. Once my kids got a little older and they were more independent, that's when I said, hey, you know what? It's time to focus on me now and time to do what I like the most.
And did you feel like you were kind of like not where you wanted to be physically, or were you fine and you just wanted to kind of continue that
a little bit of both?
Yeah.
A little bit. Yes. I mean, after having children, your body changes, everything changes. So yes, I first started working out because, like you said, I wanted for both aspects. It was mostly because, hey, I need to start looking, a little better. But I come to realize that it was much more than that. Mm-hmm. It's much more than just, hey, looking better. It's your mindset and your mentality and your daily eating habits and everything else that comes with it. Mm-hmm. How you feel mentally and physically.
Wow. So you basically you were in a fine place, but you've given of yourself to your family, which, like you said, a good Greek girl, very respectable and very, very good of you to do. But then you got to a point where you wanted, to turn the focus a little bit back on yourself as much as you could because the kids are older, and all that. And so fitness and exercise was your outlet, correct? Was there anything else?
Correct. It was my outlet. It was my time to do what I wanted to do and let go of everything else that I had in my head and just do it for me, my outlet. That's what it was.
Was that hard? Was it hard to motivate yourself, or was it very easy? Like you were just like, oh, now I have a little bit of time, I'm going to do this.
I started off on my own. I started off, like you said, a little bit on my own, a little bit. It wasn't falling in full force. It was a little bit of a time of what I could. But then I said, you know what, I wanted more. So then I said, I'm going to get myself a trainer. And I said, if, that will help me and push me and it will give me what I want. So I got myself a trainer, and with the trainer, we were able to focus on what I wanted. And it was great because it's like an appointment. If you can't push yourself, if you can't get yourself out the door to do it, I highly recommend to get a trainer or get somebody to push you to do it, or get a friend or get a buddy, a workout buddy. I had workout buddies as well that I do. Right. It's because you push each other. Hey, are we going? Yes, we're going. It's not like you keep each other accountable. And that's what I did. But the trainer, and between trainers and friends, I kept myself accountable and I kept showing up. And in the beginning, it was tough, like I said, to start all over again. But after that, I was like, okay, this is what I need. This is what I want. It wasn't tough anymore. My body was trained differently. My mind was trained differently. It's something that I needed in order to have a productive day at that point. It wasn't something that I was doing and dreading to do.
I think that's such a great phase to get to, where it's no longer like, oh, I have to get up and go to the gym. Now it's like, oh, if I don't go to the gym, it's going to suck. I'm going to feel horrible. Like, I wish I could get to that point.
Yes. considering the dedication and commitment, what would you say was how much time in your day did you devote or did it take for you to put in your workouts or your fitness programs?
Not much, honestly. An hour a day, an hour and a half the most. An hour for sure, but an hour and a half if I wanted to do more. Wow. That's all it takes. That
question specifically because if you think about it, where I hear often enough is that if we really break it down and put it into perspective, it's a very small percentage of your day that you should allocate, but it feels like it's the biggest challenge is to put the time in.
Yeah.
Even a 30-hour HIIT class, a 30-hour spin class, anything that you can get in there.
You are the example that, as a busy person who is a wife and a mother and you hold a career, that you still make it a point where often enough we hear in our inner circle how many people complain about, I just don't have time, which isn't the case in my opinion.
And what's more important? What is more important than your health?
Right. If you think about it, Adi, I'm sorry to interrupt. What do we say in being, us Greeks in our culture? Right? We say that.
It's the most
health is wealth. Health is wealth. We want to be healthy in order to be able to do everything. And if you want to be healthy, you have to do something about it. It's not going to come to you. Like, you need to eat right. You need to exercise. Go for that walk even. A bike ride, something, anything, just to keep you going, keep your body going, your bones, just your muscles, everything working.
I have friends who are like, oh, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that, and then they're like waxing their like beautiful sports car, and I was like, would you put like crappy gasoline in that car? Like, oh, are you crazy? No, it has to be the best. I was like, then why would your body be any different? Right. Your body should be more important than any, possession. Put good things into your body and then exercise your body to make it work optimally. Like these are very important things. And again, I'm preaching a lot of things that I'm not practicing because believe me, I'm not avid exerciser.
We'll get you onto a program.
I was going to say this is why talking to you is so great, because I love hearing other people who have gone through it and who have done it talk about it, because I know how much work goes into it. I think everybody knows how much work goes into it. But sometimes when you hear somebody talk about it and they just say it matter-of-factly, it sounds so much easier. And maybe that's like a little bit of a motivation. Like, yeah, I could do that. And then once you actually start doing it, you'll keep doing it. But, as with everything else,
you won't even think it. You won't even think about it anymore. That's the thing. It won't even feel like a chore to you at anymore.
Exactly.
And that's what you want to do. You want to get to that point.
So Stephania, you've taken it to the next level with yourself, and you're at this optimal level. Now, though, you're taking it professional, from what I understand.
Yes.
Let's talk about.
Let's talk about that transition. Now. How did that happen? What caused this to kind of take it to that next level?
So, like I've mentioned, working out was a big part of my life always. I've done many workouts, anything and everything. I've tried swimming, yoga, spin, Zumba, tennis, everything. Strength training is what I come to realize that was very big and important for me to continue and keep doing. That's what I love doing the most. So I was doing strength training for, 5, 6 years or so, 7 years. And I said to myself, I want to give myself a challenge. I want to give myself a goal to be able to look forward to do something, to achieve it. Mm-hmm. So I said, I need to step it up. I want to do something more. So I started looking into different things that I can do. And my trainer actually used to compete professionally in competitions. She's like, you would be great if you're thinking about it and would want to do it. And I said, you know what? Why not? What do I have to lose?
Yeah.
I mean, I love to work out. It's not like I'm going to keep working out. I'm going to keep doing everything I love. But this just gives me, like I said, something to look forward to and something to push myself even more, because I wanted the next step. I wanted to see like a big difference. I wanted to be able to do it for the challenge. So I signed up for the first competition, which is the WBFF fitness competition. And that was at the age of 40, actually. I was turning
That's
40.
incredible.
And I said, let's do this for my 40, a big thing for my 40 birthday, right?
That's
Why not?
crazy. I can't even believe it. Like, it boggles my mind.
Yeah. I was prepping, I was getting ready, and then all of a sudden COVID ruined it. Like with everything else.
How many interviews have we had where somebody goes, and then COVID? So COVID hit, and how did that affect you? Obviously,
COVID. I mean, it didn't affect me in the way that I couldn't continue with my goal of doing the fitness competition and that aspect in that way. But I was still working out. I was still in my basement. Thankfully, I have a small gym in my basement, and I'm able to work out. And I was still working out. I was still doing my workouts every day during COVID as well.
Yeah.
But I had to wait patiently for the next fitness competition to come up, so I can be able to finish what I wanted to start.
And when did
that took about 2 years, Adi. That was 2 years. 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, about 2 years. So then at the age of 41 and a half, so I would say, a year and a half, that's when I did it. I finally had my first competition, which was in New England.
Excellent.
So, and New England was my first major competition that I got ready for.
Oh my God, that's so inspiring. It's such a great thing. At 41, I would have won many awards for the size of my gut that I had, but they don't really give awards for any of that stuff. So I'm glad at least you could do something with it. But I mean, that's super inspiring, because it's inspiring for any younger age, and it's like really inspiring for somebody who has had children, is a wife and a mother, has her life already like going, and then to be able to put that motivation and that effort and that work and that concentration and that everything it takes to become to get to the level that you're at is truly inspiring, and we commend you for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Prepping for this was very challenging as well, but what I loved about prepping for these competitions is that you love seeing your body transform. I love seeing my body transform. It's great to see. I would you take pictures before you start your prepping, and then you take pictures during middle prepping and during end of your prepping, and just to see your body transform and what it can do when you truly put yourself your goal. You really want to push yourself to that goal, and you see you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm dedicated. I'm committed. I'm going to follow all these rules that I have to do in order to get to the end of what I want. And truly, that requires a lot of discipline. So, and on top of it, you also have a family. Like, I also have my family that I had to take care of my family. That's the hardest part again about the prepping, was taking care of your family, your husband, your kids, plus doing what you want to do for yourself.
And I feel bad for your husband with you working out and becoming physically optimally in shape. He must have been miserable.
unless you
he's like, no, don't work out so much.
Unless you inspired him as well, I would assume. Does he also take?
Sorry, Swati, what did you say?
Maybe you inspired your husband at the same time.
I did. Yes, he did start working out as well. He did. He's like, I have to start working out because I can't have my wife stronger than me.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna go out and they're gonna see you, and then I've seen your husband in pictures. I think I met him once, but he's a good looking guy, and he seems like he's in shape. But now he has to. Like you're gonna be showing him up everywhere, so he has to work out. It's like,
so yeah, he did. He started. He was doing lovely, but then he stopped. So now I'm in the process of trying to get him to start it again. But yeah,
the
old clothes, it will work.
The old clothes,
I got some questions for you, Stephania, also for our audience as well. And of your caliber and of your experience, we often hear folks, talk about, I work out so much, but I don't see any changes. How important is it for not just the workouts, but your intake and your nutrition when it comes to that to see results, right?
Tremendously. When you need to watch what you eat, it goes hand in hand. Simple. Nutrition and exercise go hand in hand. You can't do one versus the other. like I said, during my prepping, I had been pushing myself in the gym a lot. My muscles have grown prior to starting the prepping, which is the calorie deficit, basically. 10 weeks, 9 weeks, 8 weeks, everybody's differently depending on how soon they want to start this calorie deficit. But what I want to explain is that, I push myself in the gym so much with weights and, you grow your muscle. But in order to see that muscle, you need to get rid of that top layer of your fat. You need to get rid of that fat. In order to do that, again, it's the nutrition part. You need to be careful what you put in your body in order to be able to see those muscles develop.
It's a matter of, and you say calorie deficit. So in order to kind of burn or melt away that first layer of fat is also how much you eat as opposed to what you eat as well.
Right. It's how much you eat and what you eat, basically.
Right.
You need to have your good carbs. You have to have your protein in every meal. You have to have your vegetables. That's all important. Your water, drinking tons and tons of water.
Right.
All that. Yeah.
Let me ask you very quickly. Foti and I, we have a wine club. So obviously we're drinking wine and stuff all the time. How, for you, when you're prepping and you're going through these specific diets, is there any alcohol intake at all?
No, I did not touch alcohol for.
We were hoping you said I drink like a bottle a day.
No, and that was the hard part. Actually, is socially, what do we do? Right, we want to go out to eat. Right, that's what we do. So it's hard because you're out. Yes, I did go out to dinners for special occasions, but I brought my food with me. Or I made sure that the chef knew ahead of time what they needed to prepare for me and how they needed to prepare it. And if they couldn't, I would then bring my food. So I've done that in many, many events. I remember Palm Sunday, I brought my own food to church in the back hall, and my mom's giving me those evil eyes, like, "Why are you taking out your food? They have food."
Oh man,
Mom, you know what I'm doing.
You get ripped up for
yes, the alcohol part, no drinking. So everybody was around me having fun drinking, and there I was with my water and lemon. So
wow, that's motivation.
Absolutely,
that's right. Or my birthday party. I have to bring this up. I'm sorry. My birthday was in May, and it was during the middle of my prepping. So that I am celebrating my birthday. I was given cake to blow out the candles. But did I eat the cake? No, I did not eat the cake. I had no cake for my birthday.
Oh man.
Well, you took a rain check. I'm sure you'll have it at some point.
I took a rain check. Yeah.
Another question for you, Stephania. What are your thoughts on the fact that there are so many fitness apps that are being bombarded to people on using these easy and simple applications that make it supposedly efficient for people? Are you a fan of fitness apps, or do you follow a fitness app yourself?
No, I do not follow a fitness app myself, but there's many people that do follow the fitness apps, and if that's what they need to keep them motivated and keep them going, then do it. Whatever keeps you motivated, whatever you need to do it, do it. You know,
because they're very clever where they'll have you fill out a quiz or a survey, and the only way they'll give you the results is if you give them their information or if you download their app. But yeah, I just wanted your perspective on fitness app, because they're like everywhere now. Like anything you turn on socially, there is a fitness app being promoted for intermittent fasting, keto, running apps, you name it. There's so much out there right now that I wonder
her answer is very, very respectable. Whatever helps you keep going, do it. I love that answer.
If that's what you need, to give you a push, do it. Yep. I mean, I have an app that I follow my calories, that I put in my calorie intake, and that helps me know how much I'm eating in a day and what I'm eating. Mm-hmm. So if that helps you, so you know how much you're eating a day and what you're eating, and that makes you more aware of what you're putting in your mouth, do it. So
and then how about this, Stephania? Do you deal with hunger?
No, I eat, and even during my prepping, I ate 6 times a day, and I eat about 5 times a day now, or 6 times a day. So I eat, but I eat small portions and good choices. So I never feel hungry. I don't.
That's the key. Small portions, good choices. We're going to use that. What about yourself? As far as, have you any thoughts of maybe you providing services for others?
Yes, I've thought about that, and I've got asked many times by many people, and I do help out my close friends. My close friends are actually who I help at this point right now, and they tell me to give them like an exercise program or meals. I've helped so many friends with nutrition and the nutrition aspect of that. Like, what are good foods you should be eating? What should you be avoiding? So that is what I'm doing now. But yes, I've also looked into it and want to be able to do more for myself. So I want to be able to train others or help them have a good relationship between exercising and nutrition for themselves.
When you do make that decision, let me know, because I need to buy Ari a birthday gift.
Oh, okay, Adi.
That would be your work would be cut out for you if you could get me into that shape. But that's amazing. You know what? And now that we have her on the show, I'm going to corner you, and I'm going to say, anytime you have tips, tricks, any display like proper procedure on exercise, anything like that, I want you to share it with us. Yeah, because there's so much of our audience that is so into this health and wellness and all this stuff, and also people who aren't, but they should be, and maybe this is something that could kind of push them into being like, hey, it's about time I got into shape, and they need somebody like you who has been through it and who has the results. So obviously what you're talking about. You're good at what you do, and it will be really cool. So no pressure, but if you can do that, we're here for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I will definitely keep that in mind. Yes.
Well, this is great, because I feel like going to the gym after this interview.
You should. Let me know that you went.
Definitely.
So I'm going to keep you accountable to that. I'm going to keep asking you, did you go to the gym? Did you go to the gym?
And then when you ask me, I'm going to ask Ari the same thing. So it'll be a domino effect.
My phone doesn't work that well. It sometimes cuts out.
Come on. Oh, here we go.
Well, Stephania, what do you have in store for the future? Any thoughts? You're going to continue competing, and what do you have? What's in your mind?
What I have in store, yes, is looking into getting a professional trainer for sure. And yes, continue to compete. I love it. I love everything about competing. I love how your mindset improves, your eating habits change. It's just the way you think about everything else after you come out of the competition. I love everything about that.
Is the network of women who do these competitions, is this like a nice network? Are they supportive? Are they?
They are. Yes, that's a good question. So the day before the competition, we have a meeting, a team meet, a registration meet, and a team meeting, and we all get together and we talk and we listen to other coaches speak. And one thing we all, that's a big part of that meeting is that we are supportive of each other and nice to each other. And, being with other girls backstage, so many girls backstage, you want to help each other out and be supportive of each other. Not, there's no reason to be mean. We're there to be a better version of ourselves, to compete. It's you against you, basically. You're there. I mean, obviously, awesome. Who doesn't want to win? Doesn't want to come home with the trophy, right? But it's more to that. It's the values and the importance that you learn about yourself mentally, physically, when you put yourself through this preparation for this competition. So yes,
that's great to hear.
It's great to be supportive of each other, for sure.
That's amazing. I love to hear it. I love to hear people supporting each other, especially when they have like a common goal, and instead of it being a competition, it's like, you could do it, good for you, stuff like that. So bravo. All right. I mean, this was great. I enjoyed this very much. Foti, any parting?
One last thing I wanted to ask before we do sign off is that we didn't talk about sleep. Right?
Oh, sleep. That's very important as well.
Yes. We don't sleep well anyways, because we're up all hours of the day and night. But is that something also you can quickly tell us your thoughts on getting enough sleep?
8 hours of sleep, as much as you can, especially during the prepping season. 8 hours of sleep. You need to get those in.
Please. Is there ever a point where there's too much sleep?
No, never a point there's too much sleep. Less sleep, yes, because I've had days when I don't sleep 8 hours. And boy, I can tell the difference in my body the next day. You don't have that energy, or you can't think straight. There's so many aspects to lack of sleep. And you know what? We don't get enough sleep nowadays. We don't. We just have too much going on that who has time to sleep, right?
Yeah. You're very, very right.
Does Stephania have a regiment of what time you have to go to sleep by and what time you have to wake up?
Oh God, I can't answer that because right now, I love to go to bed late, especially now that I'm not on my prepping aspect of it. I go to bed late. When during my prepping, I would make it most of the time by like 10 p.m. To get there at 10:30. Yeah. But you never know. A kid could be sick. Something could be happening. There's so many different things that happen.
But
that doesn't always work that way.
But sleep is important. Yes. Oh man. Yes. Yeah, we need to straighten ourselves out, Foti.
Well, I think that we've got plenty that Stephania has provided us, so there's no excuse after this interview for us to follow the directions of Stephania. Absolutely. But this is great. You always learn. We always want to continue learning, and every segment, especially with yours, Stephania, we learn quite a bit with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks
being
for
with us.
having me, guys.
It was our pleasure. I know everybody out there watching and listening, you guys are going to love this episode. Get inspired, get motivated. We're actually going to link to Stephania's information, whatever she provides us. We're going to link to it. Follow her. Check out what she's doing. She's amazing at what she does. Really an inspiring woman. And Stephania, thank you again for joining us, taking the time. Thank you, Foti. And thanks everybody out there watching and listening. And we will see you all next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.